Hello, trading is closed on August 14th, 2019. Let's go over our calls. Yesterday we had a big rally. Futures were higher. I said I didn't have an impulsive look to it because it counted as an ABC, which is a three-wave structure. I thought unless we gapped and took out this high early, we should drop in a straight line, which we did. This number gets crossed off the list. During the day, MEJT said this rally was false. That's already played out. This was the pattern with the early low. Tomorrow's pattern also has the early low. Unless we drop sharply early, it tends to be a rally day. It has a tendency, but not a requirement, to have its high in the final hour of the day. We listed all those things that made us question the rally we had. I said the bulls needed to clear the high promptly, ideally by gapping over it, but they didn't do that. Now we've hit this downtrend line quite a few times. We hit that many times, it should be a matter of time till it breaks. When you drop in a straight line to it and don't go through it, it tends to hold unless you gap under the line. If you break through without gapping under it, the drop shouldn't stick. I'm moving the two down here, my thing now, I think that's an A and that's a B. And just as we had to wait for a long time for the end of blue B, we now have to wait for the end of blue C. I'm not totally happy with the count, but it's possible that that's an A and that's a B and that's a C. It's not going to let me do this. You also have this consolidation. You said at 61.8%, that's it. That's that. Here's your stilt, here's your stilt, here's a diamond, pretty obvious diamond. You take these 2 points, you don't know which ones to take, but you said a 14.6, a fib number, that's usually about as much stretch as you get. I don't go down to the next fib number, which is 9%, and if that doesn't work, then it's not going to be a fib target of the prior consolidation. Here's another trend line support. We've hit this so many times we should break through at some point. But again, you drop in a straight line to it, but not through it. Unless you gap under it, that trend line tends to win, at least for tomorrow. Have a volume spike, tends to be at a low. Doesn't mean you won't spike at a higher volume tomorrow, but at least your antenna should be up. Calling this late consolidation ending diagonal triangle is kind of a stretch, but if we gap up, that's probably what's going on. I don't like fudging the count. Usually it's wrong, but it's possible. But this is the height of purple A. Purple C is 50%, so it makes sense from the Fibonacci perspective. Okay, tomorrow's pattern has the early low. Doesn't mean you won't gap up. They usually, not always, has a bullish tendency, and absent a big drop early, tends to close higher. The all-day drop didn't take out prior lows and couldn't undercut the midday lows. Taking them out in the final 5 minutes doesn't mean anything to me, because that's the amateurs playing. After the market closed, the futures immediately broke lower in the move which couldn't stick. The implication is amateurs are willing to sell after professionals had lost their enthusiasm for selling. We dropped the trend line support and stopped. We have an inverted cup with a downsloping handle. It's not sustainable. Doesn't mean we have to stop here, but once we break this down trend line, it tends to reverse. My conclusion is we need to gap under today's low to tomorrow if the decline is going to continue. And that is today's call.